Hello and welcome to this edition of What's on Your Shelf. I'm your host, Mulure Mike, and today I'm coming to you right at the Sarit Center at the 2024 edition of the Nairobi International Book Fair. Here we have people from all walks of life doing everything pertaining literature, from bookstores to publishers, printing firms, authors, all type of things. So let's take a journey and see who is here. So our first stop is at the stand for Kenya National Library Service, of course, who are our partners on What's on Your Shelf. So today, you get to meet the team from KNLS who are going to help us understand what happens at KNLS.
My name is Caroline Lenosingiran. I work with Kenya National Library Service. Currently, I am in charge of Kenya National Library Service Buruburu branch. Our mission as Kenya National Library Service is to preserve the national documentary heritage and enable universal access to information and knowledge so that people get empowered.
Yes.
And we have 3 libraries. We have one at Upper Hill, our headquarters,
Yes.
Maktabaku building. We have another one at Buruburu. We have another one in Nakuru.
Yeah.
And what we do, we provide access to information materials. What we do, we acquire information materials published both locally and internationally. Once we acquire them, we avail them to a wider audience across all ages. So that's what we do as Kenya National Library Service. Service. People can access them physically from our 3 facilities and virtually in our virtual library, because we have a virtual library that was launched last year on 12th of July 2023, a library that can be accessed anytime, anywhere globally.
Okay.
Yes, so today we are here at Sarit Center. We are displaying what we have and the services that we offer as Kenya National Library Service. We are celebrating 25 years of excellence in publishing. And as I told you that our mission is to preserve the national documentary heritage. We acquire these books through legal deposits, through purchases, and through donations. And about legal deposits, Books and Newspapers Act, Cap 111 of Laws of Kenya, requires every publisher and author to deposit 2 copies of their publications in the national, with the director, Kenya National Library Service, within 14 days after publishing. Once we receive these publications, the legal deposits, we process them and we preserve our national documentary heritage, and we publish a document called Kenya National Bibliography. This is a comprehensive list of all books published in Kenya in a given year and about Kenya. So this is the most current, a list of books published in Kenya in 2022. The first one is this one, a list of books published in Kenya in 1980.
Wow.
And what is here is in our facilities. Whatever book is listed here, we have them in our facilities.
So let me ask, there are 3 main centers, Buruburu, Upper Hill, and Nakuru.
Yes, performing the functions of the national government. Because up to June 30th, 2023, KNLS had grown to a network of 64 branch libraries. However, the Constitution of Kenya, which was promulgated in 2010, devolved the library services. So 61 branch libraries were transferred to county governments.
Let me just ask, maybe somebody doesn't understand, because there are a lot of library facilities sometimes you go into and has that KNLS tag. But today we are talking about 3. to somebody who really would want to understand which are truly what does KNLS? So does it mean that when those other libraries were devolved or were left to the management of the counties, KNLS withdrew, or what happens? Because somebody would assume there are very many KNLS associated or incorporated libraries.
Now, when the Constitution transferred devolved library services,
Yeah.
61 libraries were transferred to the county governments, and they are performing the functions of the public libraries, and the 3 facilities that were left to perform the functions of the national government are performing the functions of the national library. So Buruburu headquarters at Upper Hill, Maktabaku building, Buruburu, in Nakuru. Those are the only Kenya National Library Service facilities that at the moment. However, one of our functions is to offer technical support and capacity building to the county governments. So we will continue offering technical support to the county government libraries. And those default libraries were transferred to 33 counties because our libraries were spread across 33 counties. So 33 counties benefited from the libraries that were transferred, and 14 counties did not have libraries by the time the 61 were transferred. Kenya National Library Service is working with those counties that do not have libraries. Like last month on 29th and 30th of August, we had a capacity building, we had a sensitization training where we sensitized officials from the county governments. We invited officials from the 14 counties that do not have libraries for a sensitization training, whereby we took them through the importance, what libraries are. We made them understand what libraries are, how to establish libraries, how to operationalize libraries, the libraries' sustainability. We took them through several issues in regards to the library. So those other libraries that we have transferred are for the counties. However, we are still offering technical support to them.
Okay. So there is an author who is watching you today and is listening to you. What is the importance of them depositing these copies of their books at the Kenya National Library
It is
Service?
important to know that Kenya National Library Service is supporting publishing because Kenya National Library Service is the only agency that's mandated to issue ISBN, which stands for International Standard Book Number. This is a number that uniquely identifies a publication internationally. So Kenya National Library Service is the only agency that is mandated to issue these numbers. So we issue these numbers to the authors and publishers publishing in Kenya. Once we issue them with these ISBNs, they publish the books, and there is this act, Books and Newspapers Act, that requires them to deposit 2 copies to the Kenya National Library, to the director, Kenya National Library Service, within 14 days after publishing. Once we receive them, we process them, and we preserve our national documentary heritage. So it is important.
Yes, that is the part that I would want the author to understand, to their own benefit. Why is it important that they make it a point to ensure that those 2 copies are deposited at the KNLS?
Number one, when they deposit, it's a legal requirement. They need to comply with the law to deposit, so that Kenya National Library Service is able to publish this document, which is Kenya National Bibliography. Once we deposit this, it is a marketing tool as well to them, because booksellers and bookshops purchase this document from us, And when they want to stock their stores, they can go through the document, have a look at what has been published in Kenya, and they can order
Yeah.
when they want to stock their stores.
Which is by the way, this looks like a very good marketing tool to any publisher, because even if I'm looking at one here, I'm looking at Omondi Frederick, whose ISBN number is given, and it also states the price of the book.
Yes.
So I think it makes it easier for an author to even market, because this is a resource that is available publicly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So maybe to somebody who's never been to the library, what would you like to tell them? What are they missing? Some people assume that maybe it is very expensive to sit somewhere and read. What does it cost for somebody to walk into the library and read?
Yes, for one to access Kenya National Library facility and use the resources, one just needs to walk into the library, pay 20 Kenya shillings.
20 shillings.
Yes, 20 Kenya shillings, and that's entrance fee. And access all the resources in the library freely in a day. Yes, so they need to
20
pay
shillings.
entrance fee of 20 shillings.
You imagine? I told you. The entrance fee is ridiculous. It's 20 shillings. And this, once you get inside, you have access to all the material that are available in that facility. All right.
Yes.
So
And because of the directive that all government agencies, all government institutions should onboard their services to the eCitizen payment platform,
yeah.
our services are paid through eCitizen platform. So for the entrance fee, which is 20 shillings,
Yeah.
Library users pay 25 shillings because any service that is from 0 to 199, there is a convenience fee of 5 shillings.
5 shillings.
So they pay 25 shillings through the eCitizen payment platform.
Yeah.
Yes.
Caroline, thank you. But before I conclude, I want you to tell us something about Vitabu. Tell us briefly about Vitabu.
Yeah, let me invite one of my colleagues to take us through about our Vitabu.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hi.
All right. Hi. How are you? Kindly introduce yourself. Tell us your name, what you do.
My name is Mariam Ismail. I'm an ICT officer at Kenya National Library Service.
Yes.
So maybe I'd like to tell you about a number of services that we offer at the library, just to enhance and complement the core library services.
Okay.
So we recently launched a project called the Virtual Library Project, which essentially comprises of 3 key components that work hand in hand to ensure that we bring the library to the people. So we want to offer the library services beyond the physical confines, of the walls. So the three components of the Virtual Library Project consist of, one, the Virtual Library platform itself, which is basically a platform where where users can access our digital collection. Then we also have a digitization lab, which is equipped with state-of-the-art scanners. That we have book scanners, map scanners, document scanners that are essentially used to convert any physical book into a digital format so that they can be accessible through the virtual library platform.
Yeah.
Then we also have a data center. The data center now provides the infrastructure to host all these, the data that comes out from all these components.
Okay.
So, and the services of the data center are also, we extend these services beyond KNLS. So
let me get this right. The data center is open to the public.
Exactly.
If I want that host to host my data.
Exactly.
Nice.
That's the services of the digitization lab as well as the data center are extended beyond KNLS because the capacity that we have, it's more than enough for KNLS. So we have started hosting institutions, and in a small. We started, I think, around 2 years ago. We normally approached libraries and schools. So we host a number of their library systems at our data center. And with the digitization lab, we've also gotten a lot of projects whereby even businesses come in and we are able to convert their records into digital formats. And then we're also able to give them a solution to which they can be able to access this digitized content. So yeah, the services of the digitization lab, the services of the data center are open to the public.
Wow.
Yes.
I think that is even me, as much as I always sound like I'm the advocate of KNLS. I didn't know that actually KNLS has a data center
Yes.
and that it's open to the public.
Yes,
But then
now
now,
you know.
if you look at now, if somebody would grab their phone and say, I want to access that digital platform, what is the procedure? What are the quick things I can do to access that resource?
Okay, you can get the link to the platform on our website.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we also in a month's time we'll now have the apps ready on either Google Store or the Apple Nini.
So you're building a mobile
Exactly.
application.
We are finalizing
Awesome.
on building a mobile app.
Yeah.
Yes, and the virtual library itself has a number of models to which we offer the content that's inside there.
Mm-hmm.
We have free content that is absolutely free. You don't even have to log in. You can just access, browse through. And then we have subscribed kind of content where you normally pay a fee. Like, for example, for a day, you would pay 20 shillings. So if you are subscribing right now, then it will expire tomorrow at this time.
at
Yeah.
that-
And
alright.
when you subscribe to that, you can be able to now access all our premium content. We have partnered with a number of publishers. We have local content as well as international content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when somebody's talking about content, give me a rough picture of what is available on that platform.
What is available on Vitabu? We have
Yes.
CBC material, a number of them. We have, they're called set books. There's someone the other day was looking for a set book called Visiki. He said that they did that, a number of years ago. And,
Oh, so I can actually go to maybe set books that were done 10, 15
exactly.
years ago,
Yeah,
and I can still access
you,
them.
you can find them.
Awesome.
Yeah, but now where we are going with the Vitabu is now we really want to actually partner with publishers, with authors, so that there's a whole issue of copyright and all that. So we are trying to partner with authors so that we tell them the importance of availing their content digitally.
Yeah.
So we would sign an MOU or something, then we'd go through the process of digitizing their content,
Yeah.
and then availing them upon the signing of a copyright, availing this particular content through our virtual library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the publishing space has recently opened up, and there is a lot of self-publishing authors. What would you say to them, especially those who are watching? What offerings are available for them?
We have a lot to offer you as KNLS, and we are looking to furnish our virtual library with more local content. We want to bring out the authors, that heritage, that rich authorship of the country. We want to bring it outside there, because the virtual library is accessible out there. We are really encouraging to those authors to just come in, see what we have at the National Library, and see what we have to offer for them.
Yeah, but from a personal level, what surprises you when you look at what KNLS has versus what the public knows?
What the public? Oh, yes, I know. We've not really brought out what we have, but we are trying. We are working on really trying to. That's why we didn't shy off from this forum, because it has given us an opportunity to actually tell you what we have. Because I know some people really associate KNLS with just the digital. The physical place.
Yes.
Yeah, but we are totally different. And it's really advisable for you to reach out to us and get to look at our website. We are, we have tried and exposed all these services through our website.
On the website.
Yeah.
So check out the website, which is knls.ac.ke.
knls.ac.ke.
All right. So thank you so much. Check out their website and feel free to walk there here at the Sarit until the end of this expo. You will come and find them. They immediately walk into the door. KNLS is the first place you meet. But as we conclude, the future is digital. KNLS is moving digital. What promise? What gives you hope?
It gives me hope because this is we normally say a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So we are looking to really take our position in the digital space. So we are trying to really take our rightful place, and we are taking it one step at a time. But within a few years or so, I know we will be out there, and we will be forced to reckon.
What would you want the public to do? What is their role?
The role of the public is to utilize, because these services that we are providing for them to be utilized. It wouldn't be, for us to invest in procuring digital content and it's not being used. So the role of the public is to utilize our system, our platforms, and to actually really shout about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And we keep talking about the kids section. And I tell people, my favorite part in the library is the children's section.
Yeah.
And you've had the CBC program is there in that digital platform. So check it out. So thank you guys so much. See you again in a bit.
You're welcome.
So our next stop is at Mountaintop Educational Publishers. So hello.
Hello.
Kindly introduce yourself, tell us your name and what you do.
Okay, my name is Nicodemus Ogechi Omanga, the publishing manager at Mountaintop Publishers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mountaintop started in 2002. It began with 2 titles. That is the Roadrunner Mathematics and Roadrunner English. Those were the first titles that were being published by Mountaintop Publishers. Then from there, we started doing charts that are approved by KICD and being used by our kids in schools. Like if you go to any ECD school, you'll find our charts, our flashcards, and all that. Then from there, we moved on to Zambia. We've also done books for Zambia that are cost-related. The Zambia government changed the curriculum and they wanted books, and they factored in Mountaintop as their choice of publisher to do their books.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then from there, we did that project and it was a success. Then we moved on to the next project, that big project per se, that was Rwanda.
Rwanda.
We've done Rwanda. Rwanda introduced CBC also, and that is from the year 2015. We did 2015, 2016, and 2017. We finished that project, and it was a success. Books are being used to date in schools since the government was buying the rights from the publishers. So they bought the rights.
That is the Rwandan government?
The Rwanda government.
Okay.
So you do the books as a publisher, then sell them
To the government.
To the government. Yeah, so after that, the same team that were working at for the Rwanda project went to South Sudan. And since we had worked with the team for curriculum in Rwanda, they decided to come up and choose Mountaintop because of our efficiency, quality of illustrations, editors. So we moved on to South Sudan because they were also doing a new curriculum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So they are saying because of the noise around here, you hold the mic closer to your mouth as possible. Okay. Yeah.
So after we finished the Rwanda, we went to South Sudan with the same team that was developing the curriculum for Rwanda. We moved to South Sudan. We were the only Kenyan publisher who was working on maths, social studies, and computer science. Then the rest, they were given to Longhorn publishers. So the 2 Kenyan publishers worked on the South Sudan project. From all those projects, we gained our experience. Now, when it came to the Kenyan project that CBC started in 2018, we were perfect. We were ready for it.
Yeah.
So other publishers were struggling to get into the CBC hang of it. But for us, everything was on point. We had what they need for the curriculum about CBC, because our previous curriculum was based on big books that is content-based.
Yeah.
But for the CBC, it is mostly activities. Content is a little, let's say 40%. Activities are 60%.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But I just want to understand. You
Yes.
started with 2 titles.
Yes,
How many years ago you said?
that's from 2002. Those are 22 years.
More than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
How would you say that space has changed from that time to date, the Kenyan publishing landscape?
The Kenyan publishing landscape has really changed. Because if I look at that time and now, that time, the education sector every subject was limited to 6 publishers. So to date, they removed the cap since new publishers came in and were bringing on board good content. So they had to remove the cap for all the publishers who have good content to get on board. Yeah.
You've said something that I think is spinning in my head.
Yes.
About the content.
Yes.
How much has the content in this academic publications
Yes.
changed over that period? Maybe from you, the place where you sit.
The content from those years before was based on the teacher to provide everything. But right now, as we speak, if you give a learner a phone, a learner can do more than an analog teacher. So basically what we are trying to say right now is, let's give our kids a chance to explore the new sector, the content that we are giving out.
Yeah.
Most of them, you will find right now, books have QR codes that will guide you to a site, to watch a video, to do an activity online. But on the other years, everything was supposed to be done on paper.
Yeah.
You have to have an exercise book and a textbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now when you look at CBC,
Yes.
what's your take on CBC?
CBC, the Kenyan market was ready long time ago.
Kenyan market was ready.
Was ready
Okay.
because the job industry, when we were using the 844, basically everybody was looking to get employed somewhere, not creating employment. But right now, if we talk of grade 10, which is coming, we have sections that are already divided, whereby someone will take, let's say, woodwork, metalwork. Those courses, those years, were being said to be for a certain group of people who are not performing well in class.
Yeah.
But right now, those people are the ones who are employing people. Like, let's say the stand we have right now.
Yeah.
If you look at it, you are impressed by it.
Let me pull you to something. There's a parent who is watching you today who believes that CBC is very expensive and doesn't understand why we had to leave that previous system. You're at a bird's eye view standpoint where you can see both the developments that have happened inside the content of the school.
Yes.
What word can you give that parent?
Okay. What I can say on that is some sections of our books were taken out of context. Let's say, for example, we've given an activity for learners to cook.
Yeah.
A teacher will take it out of context and send every learner a chicken from home.
I want to be a teacher. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, for me, the activity is cooking.
Yes.
You can get or improvise any locally available food that is around the school. Let's say I'm from Kisii.
Yeah.
What is locally available? You can get potatoes, bananas.
Yes.
We are talking about boiling. You can boil bananas, but since the teachers are following the book as a Bible, the book is written, boil an egg. You don't need to send a learner an egg. You can boil bananas. The concept is, let's learn boiling.
Ah.
You understand now?
Yeah.
Then, let's say activities like taking pictures. Some schools, the teacher may have a smartphone. They can improvise and use that in class to practice photography.
Yeah.
You don't have to send a learner home to ask the parent to buy a phone.
Yes. Or bring a camera.
Bring a camera. So some of these concepts are taken out of context.
Yeah.
And we are here to try and educate our teachers on how to go about the curriculum.
Which was going to be my next question.
Yes.
Can the publishers help us? Can the publishers, because you guys, you're the ones who are printing these books.
Yes.
You're the ones who know the content that has gone into those books.
Yes.
How can the publishing ecosystem help the teachers, especially onboarding this CBC? And especially now, when you're looking at this new ecosystem, especially with this junior secondary school.
Yes.
We seem lost. We seem not very sure of what is expected of that stage.
Okay.
What needs to be done from where you start?
From a publisher's perspective,
Yes.
what as Mountaintop we are doing, we are going region by region, organizing teachers' trainings about CBC, getting to understand what challenges our teachers are going through using our products. Then from there, we will have the second edition of our books that have factored in all these that they need improved on our books.
Yeah.
Some of them will inquire and ask, this concept, you wrote it on in that book. How am I going to cover it in my class? On the training, we give a breakdown on every subject, how to go about activities. If it is our book, let's say an activity in a book, how do you engage the learners to do that activity? So most of our trainings that we are doing region by region are covering all these concepts. If there is any challenge a teacher is having, they raise on that training. And our trainings are normally free. After the training, we certify teachers.
A teacher is listening to you. How do they know your next training? Where is it going to be? How can they access that information? We're going into a long break.
Yes.
How can the teachers get involved?
Okay. For the trainings that we are doing, we post on our Facebook page, which is Mountaintop Publishers on Facebook, on X. If you follow us on all our social medias, you will get the information. Any region we are going to, we give the dates, we give the details, the venue, and all that. So
and it's free.
It is free.
All
we
right.
don't charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at this, one question I wanted to ask you. So,
Yes.
so Mountaintop is basically focusing majorly on academic books.
Yes.
So for this author
Yes.
who is writing,
Yes.
is there a space for them?
The authors who are authoring any material
Yes.
that is related to any schoolwork, you can submit.
Schoolwork.
Yes.
Okay.
You can submit to Mountaintop Publishers for evaluation. We evaluate materials. There is no single day that we don't receive materials. Every day we receive materials from authors. We evaluate. If it is a good material, we give feedback and on when we are going to publish it.
Yeah.
If not, we advise the author on what to improve to get that book to be published, either by Mountaintop or any other publishing firm.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a difficult one.
Yes.
Most of there is a current increase of self-publishing authors.
Yes.
Be it academic, be it fictional, be it personal development material, who feel like the mainstream publishers were too strict or were too enclosed.
Yeah.
How would you respond to that, and what word would you give? What is it that influenced that take in that ecosystem?
In publishing, we have different departments that bring on board the ideas on how to go about business. So we have the marketing and sales that goes out to advertise our products and give us feedback on which product is needed into the market. Those ideas that are brought on board are the ones we use to make decisions on which book to publish and which one not to publish.
All right. Thank you so much, and thank you for your time, guys.
Yeah.
This is Mountaintop Publishers. Check them online. They are on Facebook. They are on X.
Yeah.
Then you can know when the next training is coming near you. Check them out and interact with them. If you have material, as you've had, that you want published, submit it. They'll look at it. And if it meets their required standards, they'll reach out to you. But thank you so much, and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
All right. Asante. So our next stop is at Story Moja. So we're here to get to understand what Story Moja is. So,
Yes.
how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are
All
you?
right.
Yes.
So introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do, and why is it just one story?
Okay, so my name is Samson, and I work with Story Moja.
Yeah.
Story Moja is a creative company that does a lot of things, including publishing. So we are mainly a publishing company. We are 17 years old now.
17 years.
17 years old.
Okay.
And we have about 600 plus titles And on my shelf today, on my shelf today,
On your shelf today.
we have, I'll start with that one, the one you're holding.
Yeah.
So that is Calamity of the Kasigao. This is Two Faces of Chief Odera. These books are part of a series that we called Shizu. Shizu is story moja, historical fiction. But instead of the F, because we would have called it Shifu, we thought Z works best. So in these books, we have teenagers who time travel from the present age back to these communities. Like here, this twin Safari and Betty time travel back to 1915 to a community called the Kasigao. Have you ever heard about the Kasigao community?
Kasigao community, I've never heard.
Yeah, there's a community in the coastal part of Kenya called the Kasigao. So what exactly happened to them? Kasigao community, yes.
They are part of the 42?
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
So something during the First World War, some betrayal, something involving the Europeans, the Germans and the British led to them nearly being wiped out. So that's the story where our twins here time travel from the present age back to these ages. So here they go back to Kasigao, and here they go back to Game in Siaya County to meet the formidable chief Odera Akango. As he struggles to introduce education to his people without the help of the white man and without the help of his people. Just getting to see, does he succeed? So these are two of them. There's one called Princess Njinga, Bane of the Portuguese. Also involves the time traveling. We have our banner here, which has most of them. That is sold out for the moment. And then we have Zulu, Kingmaker, Queen Mkabai. Away from that, we also have this series, which is called our SUDEF Wildlife Detective Series. And we have with us, we have the three titles. SUDEF.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
You guys do quite some work on the titles.
Yeah, we do. This is Story Moja detective fiction. What is Story Moja in full? What is SUDEF in full? Detective fiction, yeah? Yeah, Story Moja Uhusiano detective fiction. So in these books, we have a team of teenagers who team up as detectives to solve crimes against wildlife. So like in this book, they team up with the Vaati, Kule Ukambani to solve the case of the persecuted pangolins. Pangolins are the most trafficked mammals in the world.
But then I hear that, but I wonder why?
Why? Because
what is it about that pangolin?
Their scales, naona venye watu wakiwa leather belt, it's quite something.
Yeah.
Now the scales of the pangolins, and also in Asia, they're mostly used for medicinal value. Yeah, so they are really very, very much trafficked. Then we have the panther of the Aberdare region. Did you know we have black panthers in Kenya?
Black Panther?
Yeah, we do.
Other than the film?
Now, other than the film, we have real black panthers.
No.
So we have here a team of teenage detectives who go to the Aberdare region there and realize that the panthers there are quite something. They're facing something. They try to locate the suspects, try to solve the puzzles. And then we also have the same for the case of the targeted turtles along the beaches of the Kenyan coast. So the characters you meet in this book, you'll meet them here. It's a series, not a continuous story, but the same characters, only that different...
It's a CSI sort of a...
Yeah. Different characters are different leads in every single nini as you go. So for that one, we have the Swahili version of the Turtles.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the same one. These books are mostly recommended for teenagers. Teenagers.
And that was going to be my next question, because what I've realized that even from these ones, when you started, a through line was teenagers.
Yes, teenagers. Actually, twin teenagers.
Twin teenagers.
Yes, we want them to see themselves as they read, because they get to learn this history. We've been taught history a lot. But now we want them to experience the history as they time travel with these teenagers. We want them to be in the shoes of the teenagers as they experience that history all through. Yes. So we do have these readers. We also have class readers. We have course books.
When you say class readers, what do you mean by class readers?
Class readers are government recommended books to be read. Before we used to have set books. But now, because the introduction of junior secondary, they are required not to have read set books, but there's a group there's a select group of books that are supposed to have read that will be examined, that will be assessed.
Oh, sort of what set books are in high school.
Yeah, sort of. Only that there's not one single thing. So for that, this is one of the other things that I think as Story Mojo we stand out for, also away from the stories. We have the reading diary. We have my reading diary level 1, 2, 3, 4. And with this, we're able to track that you're reading and to make sure that the books are having value to the reader. They're reading to understand, because they'll have to have read. You read, they come right down the summary, they come right down who the main characters were, they identify the characters in the story, their characteristics. It's just basically helping them understand the books that they are reading, their formats, and to appreciate them. And also encourages them to read more books, because when you buy this one, you can use it for several stories.
And they're very colorful.
Yes, they are.
They're very colorful. I think one of the things I really appreciate about them is that the color. Because I think when I was in school,
Yes.
those days, I don't think I made this much color in especially in the school examinable books.
Yes.
Which is such a very good thing. But I've picked a very keen interest on these ones.
Yes.
And you've said they are fiction.
Yes, they are fictional.
Based on real places.
Based on their factual happenings. But now the fictional part is where we involve the time traveling, and now the community getting to interact with our teenagers who have come from the 21st century.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've not interfered with the history. Actually, the reason why we have published this series is down there at the back. There's something Chinua Achebe says, that until the lion learns to tell the story of the hunt, it will always glorify the hunter.
Yeah.
Our African stories have been told most times by someone else.
Yes.
And Africa in that way has been marginalized in the books of history, you see. So what if we told our own stories in our own voices? Let me challenge you a bit. Kuna kitu nito Nyika Plateau.
Yes.
You've heard about it, read about it. Generations of people who have gone to school have read about it.
Yes.
Where is Nyika Plateau?
In Ukambani somewhere.
That's what we were taught.
Yes.
But there's no Nyika Plateau anywhere, at least in East or Central Africa. The only thing that is closer to Nyika Plateau is found at the borders of Malawi and Zambia. That is nearly Nyika. So, for example, who wrote that history for us to read? And what more has been written for us to read in that essence, especially about our struggle for independence, about our values as Africans, and about our actual stories, especially in the struggle for independence and how modernity was introduced to us. Like in this, we get to get the perspective of education as it was introduced, the struggle for Africans to accept it, the resistance both from the Africans and from the white man. Because in this book, for example, Chief Odera becomes the first a black guy to imprison a white. And later on, he's taken away to Syokimau, somewhere here. He's jailed. And up to date, no one knows anything about where Chief Odera Kangwa is. But without him, the very groundwork for education in Kenya and East and Central Africa would have been a little bit shaky. In Sia, they say, be careful when you're throwing a stone because you might just hit a professor's head.
Yes, in game.
Yes, in game.
Yes.
Because they're professors per square meter. You see, this is the man responsible for that force.
But then there are very many professors in game.
Yes. Or at least there were. Today, people do not take academics that seriously.
But now, when you look at this in retrospect, how much are young people open to internalizing this for purposes of reason and knowledge sharing?
Now, we didn't just focus on the history because history is boring. actually. History is very boring, especially for a young person who has no interest in it. So we have created other aspects that help them travel through that history. First of all, before these teenagers time travel, they had a life in their respective places. Like in this case, this book is as resistant as a coronavirus. This is Safari and Betty. During the corona pandemic, their parents a little clash here and there, just like most families, and also due to the retrenchment that was happening. So they're back Ushago. Go Ushago. Especially the boy experiencing a really tough time with the mother, feels like... So after that, when they now time travel, they get to experience even that family setup back then, helps them to experience and appreciate, for example, that family that they do have, you see. So we have a lot of aspects that is joining the history. The history looks like it's just what is anchoring the story, but the plot has the interest for the reader. Yeah, I hope I'm clear on that.
Yes. Somebody wants this book. Where does he find you? Where can he get them? Yeah.
So you can order the books directly from our Story Moja e-store, Story Moja Africa e-store, or you can also find them in all leading bookshops across the country and in major cities, mainly Textbook Center. They are our main suppliers. You can also find them on eKitabu and on any other, all leading bookshops. You can find them on all leading bookshops, or you can also make a direct order using the website. Yes.
All right. But now as I leave, Sam,
yes,
on a personal level,
yes,
what is that thing you wish somebody who is watching us today would know about these two books I'm holding, and of what value would it be to them?
Something I wish they would know.
Yeah. We've spoken extensively about it, but now I'm now talking specifically to Sam. I'm now focusing on what the author has done. Now, you've read the books, you've internalized, you've seen this story, and you really wish somebody else can see it. That reader is watching us today.
For this one specifically, I think I'll just repeat something that I've told you, that Africa has been marginalized in the books of history. Someone else has always had the eagerness to tell our stories. But when you hear your story told by a voice that seems closer home, you get the perspective more. So if there is one value I get from this, is the honesty of this African storytelling, as though told by the fireplace, but in ink.
Yeah.
I love that honesty about these books, about our African origin.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you.
Remind us again of where to find you. Your website is?
www.storymojaafrica.e-store.
Check them out. And you'll find them. There's so much work. There's so much. Are there things for children?
Yeah, a lot. That is where that is our specialty. There are things for children.
Okay.
Even for those that haven't gone to school yet. Like this one, for example, is for a parent who wants to tell stories to their children. This one is meant for parents to create their own cocomelons. It's actually a musical. Yeah, you can create your own tunes with your own children and sing with them along.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you so much.
Our next stop is here at Clover Nook Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. How are you, sir?
I'm very good.
Kindly tell us your name and what do you do? What does Clover Nook do?
Okay, my name is Dominic Kiamba. Welcome to our booth. Here at Clover Nook Center for the Visually Impaired.
Yeah.
We are doing braille books whereby we decided that we don't want to leave the visually impaired behind.
Yeah.
Imagine yourself without eyes. How do you even cope? Leave alone reading.
Yeah.
So, as our service is to provide Braille books. Braille is the, I would say, the platform whereby the visually impaired are able to read
Yeah.
and write. So here we are able to produce books, and these are all African story books, which are done in different languages. What we are doing now here is we have the books in both print and Braille,
Yeah.
whereby the parents at home, if, for example, they don't have anyone to assist the child,
Yeah.
they can follow in the print while the child is reading the Braille part.
Yes.
Then we have also gone ahead, realized that also these little kids need to enjoy pictures like any sighted person. That's why we have that Braille, that is a 3D printer,
Yeah.
whereby any image on this book, we are able to produce it in a 3D.
In a 3D printing.
Yes. For example, now, if a sighted person can see this image of a dog on a print,
Yeah.
but the blind cannot see that. So we print it so that the blind can feel and try to understand in his mind
Yeah.
what a dog looks like. So what is happening is every book we have here comes with a set of models like this.
Oh, the 3D models.
Yes, so I can give you an example. A book comes like this. It comes,
Fruits talk in a basket.
yes, and then you can check inside what is on that.
Oh, they're actually fruit models.
Yes.
Ah, pineapple. Interesting. A banana. Which fruit is this one?
That looks like a watermelon.
Watermelon. And is this a pumpkin? A pear?
A pear, yes.
This is a pear.
Yes.
This is really interesting.
So,
So when it's published
Yes.
in a book,
yeah,
you create a 3D model
yes,
so that's really interesting. So that when the book is given, the book comes as a complete package with the models.
yes.
Ah, awesome. But I have so many things I want to ask. But first of all, maybe just to understand, I've seen from your booth, you've said for the blind and visually impaired.
Yes.
Are they different?
Well, yeah, it's a little bit different, but almost the same thing.
Okay.
Visually impaired is anyone who has, I would say, low vision. You can see, but you can't. Maybe you have to read in large print.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
There's someone who is visually impaired but cannot read this font. Maybe he needs a bigger font. Okay? That is visually impaired. Yes. He's
They can
impaired.
see, but it's impaired. But now blind cannot see
He's totally,
completely.
he can't see anything.
I see.
Yes. That's why now the blind, you find some of the visually impaired can read, can print but in large print. Yes, but the blind
can
can
see-
read Braille.
Yeah. I can see a map of Kenya. It's really
It's also
interesting.
printed with a 3D printer.
Yeah.
What is happening with the map is you can see this has all these impressions on it.
Yeah.
So the blind person will feel, will touch,
Ah.
to feel.
So this is a river,
Yeah, that's a river,
the ocean.
the ocean,
Then there are mountains.
there are mountains.
This is Kilimanjaro.
Yes,
Murima is here.
yes, that is our Murima there. Don't touch my Murima.
I am not touching
Yes.
Murima. And then Mount Elgon.
Mount
This one
Elgon,
is
I
Mount
can see
Elgon.
you know your geography very well.
This is the Rift Valley.
Exactly.
This is really, really, really interesting. What are these? What are these
Those are just landmarks to show towns.
towns?
Yeah, these are different. Like this is Nairobi, this is Mombasa,
Mombasa.
there. All the major towns in Kenya.
Kisumu.
So this one comes with a key, whereby if he touches here, he will check in his key, which also printed in Braille. He cannot. This one.
So if I touch this on the map, I can touch a separate braille and
yes,
no.
because
Oh,
these initials, yeah, we can't write the full name of Nairobi, so
Yes.
write N, and then he will go to the key. He will know, okay, N was Nairobi. Let me see where Nairobi was again.
What if a situation like this? I suspect this is Nakuru.
Yes,
In the
we don't
middle of-
use the same.
Ah.
Yes, it's like numbering.
Yeah.
We just put A, maybe will mean this, B will mean this, C will mean this.
But just to get to understand the idea behind, what gaps did you see in this publishing space that led you to this space?
Yeah, that's a good question. The gap we saw is ignorance from, I would say, the communities, whereby I can give a good example how we came up actually with these books.
Yeah.
It was during COVID-19 when all schools were closed, children at home. I would see even some TV channels were broadcasting some lessons for the sighted.
Yeah.
Radios were broadcasting some programs, lessons for the sighted.
Yeah.
But no one could imagine how is the blind child at home in a village in Kisumu or in Machakos doing alone in a lockdown. So the idea came on discovering there is some members of our society who are left out and forgotten. So we came up with the idea of why can't we come up with storybooks, and for this matter, African storybooks, whereby they can relate with their daily lives.
Yeah.
Yes, because for example, the one you are holding in Sungura now.
Sungura chini ya mti.
Yes, we all know Sungura. So these are stories we all relate every day. So the idea came up of the passion to serve that forgotten community.
Yeah.
Yes. And very vulnerable community.
Yeah, I'm keen to know what your take is, because as we are transitioning, I feel like our education sector is facing a lot of challenges, especially with this transition that we're trying to make into CBC.
Yes.
From where you sit, how has this community been factored in that next phase that we are going into? Looking at it from a government perspective or from a national outlook.
Well, the government has very good intentions, I would say. I would say the challenge is implementing them.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a very good programs they have, but I would say the technical know-how, how to implement.
Yeah.
That's where the challenge is. You will find, for example, teachers in schools. You find teachers who are qualified to teach special needs education. We call it special needs education.
Yeah.
But they have no equipment at all. For example, to have all these books produced, we need a braille printer.
Yeah.
We need braille paper. We need software to translate the print into braille and all those kind of things. So the biggest challenge I see is the technical know-how. The government itself, I would say it has very nice programs, but who is down on the ground to implement them? Very few.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I'm looking at this, and I'm wondering, okay, so I'm part of that ignorant community you've spoken about. I can't read. How do you get to understand this, for example? Because I feel like this should be public information.
Yes.
You've made a step ahead of us.
Yes.
How can we be onboarded into this ecosystem? Where can somebody start? For example, if I want to understand these brailles, if I want to understand the language, if I want to understand the basic reading that I can also use to help the next person besides me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very nice question. The information is free. I would say internet has changed everything. Did you know you can learn anything you need to know about braille on the internet? So,
But I'm just seeing dots.
yes, you're seeing that, yes.
Yes.
But for you are sighted.
Yeah.
Before you start learning how to read by touch,
Yeah.
you will have to look at them, the dots. So I would advise anyone who is interested, there are so many opportunities online whereby you can download all kind of information on how to learn, first beginners on how to learn braille. From there are institutions like Kenya Society for the Blind.
Yeah.
They have a lot of resources for the people who want to learn braille.
Yeah.
Yes. But to be honest with you, anyone who can have the passion can go online and can find information.
So from here, from your desk,
Yes.
what do you have that can help a beginner, for example, like myself?
Here
If
we
I
have
want-
the braille alphabet and numbers. So this one shows how the braille alphabet looks like.
Yeah.
So that is the first step to learn. You have to learn the braille alphabet
Yeah.
and the Braille numbers. Just like how we learn ABCD
Yeah.
and 1, 2, 3.
So does the Braille language, we write from English from left to right, Arabic right from right to left.
First of all, I can correct you. Braille is not a language.
Okay.
Yes.
What is it?
Braille, I would say, is a format. How the blind read
Yeah.
and write.
Yeah.
Yes, because everything is written either in any other language, like English. Yes. So, for example, is the alphabet a language?
No.
This is the normal alphabet. Is it a language?
No, it's not.
Yes. It's a format how we write.
It's a format. Yeah.
Yes. So Braille also is a format. So you will find that the way you write in English, for example, is we start from left to right.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
The same with Braille.
But let me ask, to a blind person, does it mean that now the blind person is left to just read? Do they write? How do you write? For example, the advantage that maybe a sighted person has is I can pick a pen and write those alphabets.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have the equipment here how the blind write, but I can explain briefly.
Yeah.
There are so many ways to write Braille. But for students, they use what we call a slate and a stylus. A slate is like a file where you slide in a paper inside, and then you have a stylus, which looks like a pin. Then it punches the dots inside there.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
But now, my brother, where you sit, when you look at this work that you guys are doing,
Yeah.
where can somebody find you? How can people, the general public, and I'm sure there's somebody who is watching us today who maybe has learned a thing or two.
Yeah.
How can somebody participate? Where can somebody find you?
Please, you can find us on our website. That is www.plovanook.org. You will find all about our stories and what we are doing and the Braille initiatives we are doing here and the bigger picture of where we want to take the Braille literacy, because our goal is to promote Braille literacy. Remember, you cannot say you are literate if you don't know how to read and write.
Yes.
Yes, you can say, why can't they use audio and listen? But any student has to learn how to write and read.
Yeah.
So we are trying to promote the Braille literacy, whereby students have to learn how to read Braille.
Yeah.
And that's why we have come with entertaining and more I would say, fancy way to promote Braille literacy by encouraging the students to learn.
Yeah.
Because just like any other kid, when you give a small kid a book without pictures, they might not read it. But when they see the book as images, they will get interested.
Yeah.
So that's why we have come up with printing the images for the blind learners, so that they get more interest to read the book.
Yeah.
Because they are enjoying also the images by touching them. Yes.
What are some of the quick misconceptions that you would want to demystify to those that you've had since you got into this space?
Yes.
That you hear out there in the general public and you wonder, what is that?
Okay. There are quite a few about the blind people.
Yeah.
Number one, blind people are not, I would say, they are not stupid. They are not, I would say, they are not vulnerable in such a way that they are so dependent. Just empower any blind person and you'll amaze you with what he can do. They can do much better than us, decided. They are so much skilled. They are so much good in acquiring knowledge. They just need to be given the right tools. Blind people can do anything a sighted person can do. Many people think, he's blind, how he's going to walk there? He can walk. Empower him or her. They can walk anywhere, they can do any job. They are just as normal as any other person. So stop assuming that blind people need your mercy or pity. No, they don't need that. They need you to just understand what they need and try to empower them. And then they will outperform you. So let's stop assuming all the time, oh, this one is blind, and let's just keep him there, let him. No, they want to walk around like any of us.
Yeah.
They want to move around town. They want to do some things. They want to do anything like any other person. All right?
Yeah.
Just empower them and they will surprise you.
Yeah. So maybe as we conclude,
Yes.
your parting shot to any Kenyan or anyone who is listening to us, what is that one message you'd want us to leave this book fair with today?
I will ask Kenyans and Africans and the world in general that let's all be accommodating to people with disabilities. Let's embrace them. Let's be cautious. Let's be polite. Let's just not overall generalize them. We are very, even in this book fair, we have serious authors who are blind. So let's not assume people with disabilities are useless in the communities. They are very important, and I wish all Kenyans can understand that and try to support them.
Yeah.
And try to take interest, even to learn Braille. It's the sweetest thing you can ever do.
Yeah.
Yes, because you have another extra skill, which many people don't. So let's all embrace them, let's support them, let's love them,
Yeah.
and respect them.
Awesome. So to the publications that you have here, if somebody wants to get them, where can somebody find them? Where can...
Again, our publications are all, you can contact us on our website. We have a phone number.
Yeah.
We try as much as possible to come to this kind of events. So if you get to hear another book fair somewhere, I'm sure we shall also be there.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Check them out. clovernook.org. See you on the next one. All right. So I'm still at the 25th Nairobi International Book Fair. And our last but not least, the final store. Of course, we are at the Nuria stand. And Nuria, as we always say, are our partner in this podcast. We started with the Kenya National Library Service. We're concluding with the Nuria Bookstore, who are our partner on this podcast. Remember, this podcast today, What's on Your Shelf, was coming to you from the Sarit Center at the 25th Nairobi International Book Fair. And today, as we always say, Nuria is the home of African books. And here, even as we are interacting with the book, I'm here with an author. Hi.
Hi,
How are you?
very fine. How are you?
You are the author of this book,
Yes, I am.
Benny and Griffin.
Benny and Griffin.
So kindly introduce yourself, tell us your name, what you do, and tell us something about this book.
Okay. My name is Bill Kinaro. I am an author. I'm also a student of finance and economics. I think that pretty much sums up what I am.
Yeah.
But this is my first book, the first of many, I hope. The book is basically a story about civil war. Hypothetical countries. I didn't want to go down the bureaucracy of speaking about my country or any other country, so I just decided to, create my own. And here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say has been your biggest learning in the process of authoring this book?
I think patience. You have to be patient for sales, for things to happen, for things to fall in place, for you to understand how things work. You just have to be patient. Yeah, I think that's my biggest lesson: patience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benny and Griffin.
Yeah.
Tell us the idea behind the story.
I think growing up, I've always been a good writer, not to brag. So it's a book I wrote when I was 15, published.
When you were 15?
Yeah, so published when I was 19. Wow. So something that
I was tempted to ask you then.
How old I am?
Yes.
Well, let's keep that. Let's keep that underwater.
But you published this 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So
Okay,
I
when
mean,
you
if you add that up,
Okay.
you can.
All right.
I mean, you can
We
tell.
won't ask you how
Yeah.
old you are. But just get to what got you interested in writing? What is it that got you interested in doing a book?
I mean, I tell people this is not something that I never really thought I'd be an author before this. But as I said, I mean, writing has not been that hard for me. I think this was a story that began, and as I just started writing, I mean, at one page to another, and then, I mean, so many pages in, you realize, oh, wait, this is something. So I think in that moment I knew I wanted this to be a book. But I've always enjoyed writing. It's something I love doing, to sort of like help to address issues that I like. Maybe food. I like food, by the way. The
Oh, you like food?
The sports.
What's your favorite food?
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to say, but I mean, I just love
You have several favorites.
good food. Good food. Let's just say good food.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But essentially, writing is more of a hobby that became a craft that you can earn from. Yeah.
Yeah. The process of publishing.
Yeah.
And then you've ended up with now a complete project.
Yeah.
Transitioning into now the business side. You're a student of business.
Yes.
I want to believe that you have all the best business decisions. How has the business side of this project worked for you?
I mean, with a book, before it comes out, there's so much invested in it. Time. But I mean, now on the money side, you have to pay an editor. You have to pay a guy to design your cover page. You have to pay a guy to sort of like lay the book out for you. So even before like you have the final product, you've already incurred so many costs. Then comes your biggest cost yet, which is going to be the publishing cost.
Yeah.
So I self-published. So this is a cost that I foot myself.
So today I want to understand, and I'm sure very many people want to understand.
Yeah.
Today when we were speaking, when we were taking tours here, we met a lot of publishing firms.
Yes.
And you're self-publishing.
Self-published.
Make us understand, what is self-publishing?
I mean, self-publishing is where you are sort of like the publishing house yourself. So marketing, you, printing, you, sales, you, everything starts and ends with you. So you sort of like find your way to bookshops, argue out your case. I mean, Nuria, for example, I mean, a solace for self-published authors because it's so easy to stock with them. But now the problem with traditional publishers that you've met today is there's a lot of, as I said earlier, bureaucracy. So many steps to follow, and then your manuscript needs to be approved. Once they approve it, they're going to have you make a few changes here and there. And then I think the time and the royalty split is where the problem comes. So you find that they'll take a huge chunk of the royalties because they'll say, or they'll argue, they market, they print.
Yeah.
So you only get us the like very little of the book. But again, I decided to go self-publishing because it's what made sense at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did Nuria assist you in this journey? What would you say they've helped you with as an author?
I mean, first, Nuria is the only bookshop I'm in, I think. Yeah. But there's just an ease that is with Nuria that, you could come and in a few minutes you're done and your book is stocked with them. But again, it leaves you the burden of marketing. But again, you have sort of like a platform where it's sold. They're online. They have a presence on social media, which is great. I've made a few sales with them, which I don't mind, which is great. It feels like their terms are a bit more flexible for a self-published author as compared to other bookshops. Yeah.
What's your hope as you journey into the next phase of your authorship journey?
I think my biggest goal has been to be a bestseller, and it still stands. I want to be a bestseller. New York Times, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Kenyan bestselling author, I don't know, but a bestseller in one way or another. That would be very validating.
At least people are researching a lot on finance, so
Wow.
there's something in there.
Well, I don't think I'm a non-fiction writer, but we'll see. I never say never.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bill, the author of this. This is his first title.
Thank you.
Check him out. He's also publishing and selling at Nuria. We're here at the Study Center. So, Bill, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Still at Nuria, and I'm here speaking with yet another author, Elizabeth Waithaka. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us about Elizabeth.
Elizabeth is a money coach, a trainer, and author. I fulfill a higher calling of facilitating people put order in their money so that they can enjoy a lifetime of financial well-being. It is in the will and the purposes of God for all of us to to enjoy abundance.
How do you define money? What is money?
Money. That is one question that many people have not even answered for themselves. But when we are talking with the kids, we say money is simply notes and coins. But when I come to you, money is skill, the skill that you have, stored energy. You use your energy, you use your time, you use your skill to make that money. So it represents that. If somebody steals your money, they have stolen part of your energy. They have stolen part of your time because you use that time to make money. Yes, yeah.
Waheshimiwa, wale wameenda na CDF. But, yeah. Elizabeth, you've authored several books.
Yes.
Take us, what has been your authorship journey so far?
Actually, I've authored several books for adults, for children, for teenagers, for young adults, because we would want to package the money conversations for different ages. Let me say my authorship journey is part of my calling. I said my business and what I do is a higher calling that God gave me to facilitate people put order in their money so that they can enjoy a lifetime of financial well-being. I'm not able to reach out to everyone, but my books can go to the people that I cannot reach out to. And empower them around money. Money has been a silent subject. Many of us were not taught about money as we grew up.
Yeah.
So we are coming from a point of, or many people handle their money from a point of ignorance. So my authorship journey came with a lot of, I don't know what to call it, but with a lot of bang. When I started writing my first book during COVID, I was just not sleeping.
You started writing during COVID?
I started writing during COVID.
And you've done 4 or 5 so far?
Well, if we count the titles,
yes,
they are allowed 8.
Wow.
They are allowed 8. And because it's a calling, whenever God put a book into my spirit or into my soul, into my mind, I just don't sleep until I'm done with that book.
Elizabeth, the book I'm holding is your best-selling book. What is your core message in this one? I know we will have a chance to sit with Elizabeth on a longer conversation, but what I'm holding in my hands is her best-selling book, a personal money nuggets workbook.
Yes.
What is your core message in this book?
My core message is that irrespective of your income levels, you can all enjoy a lifetime of financial well-being. It is not about the amounts. Irrespective of your income level, you can enjoy abundance. So the message in that book, and I wanted to put it in 52 weeks, like you can consume a nugget a week.
Every week.
Yeah, now that you are not taught about money, can this become your first money class? To know how to budget, to know how to invest, to know how to handle debt, to know how to plan for your retirement. What is your money personality, for example? You see, when you go to the doctor, they'll tell you, you are sick because either you don't take a lot of water, please start taking enough water, start eating healthy, start taking the number of walks per day, start drinking the number of glasses of water per day. They give you a prescription. This is also a prescription guide for your money. You need to budget. You need to know your money personality. You need to put order in your money. You need to start investing slowly but surely. You need to handle debt responsibly. And what is it? You know, when you're not in debt, your money will do what you want. You need, as early as you are, to start small, step by step, baby steps to plan for your retirement. So that we don't get that situation where we are getting people at the point of retirement. That's when they know, I should have done this and that. When it is too late, we don't want that.
What is one thing about debt that very many people miss?
The differentiation between good debt and bad debt, okay? They miss the fact that debt is not your money. I mean, when you borrow that money, you have to pay it with an interest. So where are you borrowing? Actually, that is major. Where are you borrowing? Like an individual, do you have like a circle where you can do your borrowing? And debt, by the way, people look at debt like it's a bad thing. No. The biggest millionaires and billionaires in the world were made through debt. But how are you handling that debt? Where are you getting this money from? Are you aware it's not your money? Are you able to put a line between good debt and bad debt so that you use debt to your advantage? Yes.
I want to talk about Nuria.
Yes, yeah.
This the Honest Store. They've hosted your books. How has your experience been with Nuria so far?
Nuria, for me, is a miracle come true. before Nuria, I did not know where to put my books. I'm very good as a content developer. I'm very good as a writer, as a trainer, but I'm not very good in putting my books out there. But Nuria came, they gave me that opportunity. They do my books, they sell my books. I wake up to know so many books sold in Nuria, and I'm so happy that they're able to pass this message that God gave me about personal finance to many people who would not have reached without them. And what amazes me about them is that it's an honest store. They actually say Nuria, the honest store. So I don't have to worry about how many books Nuria have, because I know they will account for my books.
Yeah.
And surely but slowly, the market has gained a lot of confidence with Nuria, and especially because they promote the African writers. We are so proud of Nuria. We are part of Nuria.
Yeah.
We want Nuria to go out there.
All right.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. And we will have Elizabeth on What's on Your Shelf one day, and we'll sit down with her. But thank you so much also for journeying with us to the very end. Today, we were coming to you from the Sarich Center at the 25th Nairobi International Book Fair, where we've visited several stores. I hope you've enjoyed what you've liked. We were not able to visit every store that we would have wished to, but hopefully on the next one, we will cover as much as possible. Thank you so much for journeying with us to the very end. My name is Mulure Mike, and of course, this is What's on Your Shelf. And until the next one, have a good day.